Lego Batman 1's best boss isn't who you think it is. I went back and played all 21 bosses and ranked them from absolute trash to legendary. There's a boss that is over in under 10 seconds, one you can straight up skip, and a mid-game boss so good it blows the final bosses out of the water. So who's your pick for the best Lego Batman boss? And let's start with the 10-second wonder herself, the worst boss in the game, Catwoman. This boss battle is over faster than Bruce Wayne's relationship with Catwoman. No dramatic intro, no flashy entrance. She just shows up mid-level in Gotham City, a swarm of bats behind her, and before you know it, she's gone. They put more time developing the bats in the background than this boss battle. It's the worst because it's completely forgettable, nothing special. Luckily, this isn't the last time you'll see Catwoman, and trust me, her rematch is a lot more interesting, but for now, at least it's painless. Unlike a boss coming up where the game actively tries to make you rage quit, I guarantee you never noticed this next boss even existed, and it's actually the last boss you fight in the game. Not Joker, Grandpa Gordon. And not from this level. The second time you fight Commissioner Gordon, it's so forgettable. You roll in with this giant, ridiculous pink mech, making silly sound effects. It's like something out of Batman and Robin. You stomp a couple of police trucks, swat a few confused officers who are starstruck by the dumb-looking mech, and these guys have seen some stuff in Gotham. And that's it. I do like that they tried something different with the mech, but they could have done a lot more with it. And you will not believe this. The best part, the ending cutscene doesn't even acknowledge Grandpa Gordon. Dude probably passed away, and then it hard cuts to kill him off getting distracted by a light. It's like we all silently agreed to pretend this boss battle never happened. At least it lasts more than 10 seconds. And who is your pick for the worst Lego Batman boss? Drop it below. Enough forgettable bosses. Now we are on to the bosses that make you rage quit. Starting strong with the rage magnet himself, Scarecrow. This isn't fear toxin, it's pure controller snapping frustration. The start of the level already puts you in a bad mood, and then the boss battle begins and it somehow gets worse. You hook onto his plane, swap characters, and then fire the dreaded torpedo. And it always unhooks for no reason. Then you try again, unhooks, try again, unhooks. Meanwhile, two immortal turrets are shooting at you like they've got a personal vendetta against you. And for what? There's zero Scarecrow flavor here. No hallucinations, no fear effects. It's just a plain Lego plane with his name slapped on. They did Scarecrow dirty in this game, and you will not believe it, he cannot even go through toxic gas in this game. I know, tell me about it, Sturd. Sorry, I saw the opportunity. Be honest, did you get stuck on this level? Now, coming up is one of the bosses everyone forgets, and honestly, I get why. You're towing bombs into turrets with hitboxes the size of a Lego stud, then firing torpedoes so that they go and shoot the police battle helicopter. And after that, it's just flying in circles, gunning down Gotham's toughest cops, Dave and Joe. Credit where it's due, at least it doesn't unhook every 2 seconds. And if every cop was like Dave and Joe, Batman would have been unemployed years ago. And the payoff for defeating them, you get no epic cutscene, you just see a helicopter ragdoll around like you dropped a Lego city set on the floor. We've had a couple of forgettable and awful bosses that make your insides boil, but this next one might be the silliest Lego game boss ever, and you won't believe what you have to do to win. On paper, it's the hardest boss in Lego Batman 1, only because the game never tells you what to do. You walk in, Harley's flipping around like the nutter that she is. Naturally, you try a batarang, maybe a few punches. No, the only way to beat her, run in circles until she gets dizzy and then you smack her in the face. That is it. So many people had to look up guides what to do, and then later on she starts flipping even longer, and then you start doubting yourself again. If running in circles is your thing, you and Joker might get along great. It's not the most engaging boss, but I tell you what, it's better than hooking and towing bombs. One little twist in the second half could have added a lot more variety and pushed it up higher. Coming up, the tankiest boss in Lego Batman 1. This boss has 14 hearts. 14! That is nearly as much as Palpatine in the complete saga. But don't let it fool you. Killer Croc might look unstoppable, but he's somehow less threatening than an average Lego goon. We might as well shove a beanie on him. The entire boss battle, you wait for him to throw random junk, then walk up and punch him. Rinse, repeat. The sewer prison arena is pretty cool, and then you hear a toilet flush. And he lobs a TV, a whole TV. Who flushed that down the bog and why? The only person who can afford to do that is Bruce Wayne, getting knocked out by his own TV. He is 14 hearts of mild inconvenience. It's got charm and proper Lego humour. And while we are still a few bosses away from the one you can literally skip, this next boss defeats themselves. Most bosses wait for the end of the level to show up. This boss just barges in mid-mission, no warning, and bam, a police helicopter drops in like a GTA Online bomber. The pilot has no emotions. No wonder Gotham's cops get mind controlled so easily. Or maybe he's just a psycho who loves cleaning the streets of filth. Instead of the usual smash the health bar routine, you've got to track the helicopter's movements and pop open vents at the correct time to bounce the bombs back at it. It's quick, chaotic, and quirky, and way more fun than it should be. And when it finally goes down, there's no dramatic cutscene. Bob the cop just offs himself so I can build a ladder. One like equals one salute for Bob the cop. That setting plus the little rooftop minigame is exactly why this one edges out Killer Croc. But this next boss, straight up bizarre. It is the only boss of its kind in the entire game. You're chasing Two-Face's truck, blasting it until you can tow it, and would you believe it, this is the only land vehicle boss and level in the game. Then you tow him directly under a police helicopter, and apparently Gotham City's police department's plan for dealing with an acid scar criminal is to drop a bomb on his head, and Batman's fine with it. I guess the no-killing rule has helicopter-sized loopholes. It's short and snappy, and towing the boss is way more fun than towing a bomb at a boss. It's got the same chaotic rooftop vibe, except this time it's an actual villain, not Bob the cop on autopilot. Shame we never got more land vehicle bosses instead of planes and boats, because this one proves how fun they could have been. And you get to visit Batman's favourite place in Gotham. Now, the next two bosses on the ranking are going to get me in trouble. They are both boat bosses, the kind everyone loves to hate. They are actually some of the most underrated boss battles in LEGO Batman 1. First up, the police watercraft. It's like a Star Destroyer for the psychotic cops of this city. Yeah, it's a bit repetitive. You pick up torpedoes, fire at the boat, repeat. But it's never a chore because the torpedoes are right next to the boss, and it gets bonus points because Penguin's submarine is the only vehicle to have a special ability. It can go underwater. Speaking of, Penguin's submarine is hands down the best vehicle boss in LEGO Batman 1. It goes above the police watercraft because instead of just spamming shots, you have to hit specific weak points, which is about as tactical as LEGO games get, and I like that. It's challenging, and it actually makes you lean forward, and it feels super satisfying when it eventually sinks. And then after comes the darkest cutscene in any LEGO game. Robin gets decapitated. Yes! I'm joking, Robin, I like you. Sometimes. Batman only fixed him because he gets funding. Alright, the bottom 10's done, from Blink and You'll Miss It Catwoman to Bob the Cop, who sacrificed himself for a ladder. From here on, every boss gets a lot harder to rank. We've got fan favourites coming up and the boss you can skip, but first, Poison Ivy, who's got something no other boss has in this game. Giant pea shooter turrets and special henchmen. First, you begin by building bombs that blow up the giant pea shooters. Simple. Then mid-build, henchmen pop out of the ground like Mario out of a pie. I like that they feel special and they just have a bit more flavour instead of coming out of nowhere. And you'd think this is where the heat suit finally does something. Nope, it just stands there looking like it's ready for a nightclub. All it needs now is the Bat's credit card. Then Poison Ivy jumps in and she takes longer to take down than Killer Croc, even though she only has 4 hearts. And the ending cutscene is a classic. Robin falls for her instantly and Batman shuts it down because he's wearing shades and has 0 time for women. Apart from Rachel! Poison Ivy ranks above the boat bosses thanks to the pea shooters and the special henchmen, but if they actually used the heat suit for something, it could have been way higher. Coming up, can you believe we're this deep into the ranking and not a single boss has actually used the bat suits until now? With Mad Hatter, he is a silly little psycho psycho with giant Bugs Bunny teeth, and he starts off by shoving a innocent goon into toxic waste. Bro, chill. Give it 2 weeks and Gotham's got another Joker roaming around. The boss arena is fantastic. It's big and colourful, and Hatter's wiggling his hips and vanishing through magic doors like your Wi-Fi signal. It's got puzzles that actually use the batsuits and make you parkour to drop Mad Hatter into the toxic waste. And just when you think you've got him, he then mind controls you. This is the first time this mechanic shows up before Joker's buzzer ran it into the ground, where you need to attack and switch character. And then the cutscene at the end is pure gold. Batman absolutely destroys Hatter's giant hat like it owes him child support for robbing. Batman, it's a hat. An underrated fight. It's just a shame that it's at the end of one of the longest levels in Lego Batman 1. And Mad Hatter is the most underrated, overpowered character in this game. If you're into hidden OP characters, check out that video up there after this one. Next, a lot of you probably expected this boss to be in the top 5, but it just misses out because it isn't as good as you remember. Mamba opens with a tiny jump scare. You cannot beat a good Lego game jump scare in a dark, creepy, abandoned boat. Zoo Company is one of the best looking levels in the game, and this boss arena just sets the atmosphere. Instead of spamming batarangs to take down Mamba, you've got to build a giant gramophone to mess with his hearing. It's one of the few bosses in Lego Batman that actually uses their weakness, which you'll see again with the joke that is kill 'em off. Then you blast, I don't know, Justin Bieber on loop until he gives up. And it's a lot more difficult than you think because you've got to time your builds between the bombs that he is dropping from a very suspicious place. Yeah, it kind of looks like he's, well, you get the idea. And just when you think you're safe, the Joe Pescis from Home Alone come flooding in. What lets it down for me is how you have to keep rebuilding the gramophone over and over, and it gets pretty stale fast. And it would have helped if the gramophone played something better. I don't know, play the Lego Batman disco music. What is this? I get it because it's high-pitched. But come on, it's Lego. Now, remember way back at the bottom of the ranking when Catwoman's boss fight was over in 10 seconds? Well, she is back, and this time it's actually worth the chase. You start in an apartment and smash out of the windows without a shred of billionaire guilt from Bruce Wayne. Then it's straight to the Gotham rooftops. The Tim Burton vibes are fantastic here, and it's got that Lego charm, and I love that it's a proper chase, not just a static battle. It stays fun and fast-paced right up until the very end, and when you finally beat her, you get a cheeky smooch for all your trouble. That's not why it's here on the ranking, guys. It's a massive step up from her first fight, and one of the most satisfying bosses to be in the game. This next boss battle, I never expected to rank this high up. When I first played Lego Batman 1, I hated this boss. It felt clunky and it dragged on, but replaying it, turns out it's actually one of the most unique bosses in the game, and it's so good in co-op. You get to play as the villains, dropping explosive cat bombs from a crane onto police trucks. I know, questionable. While Gotham's psychotic cops swarming from every angle. In co-op, it's chaos. One player runs the crane, the other fights off the cops, and unlike all the other villain bosses, this one isn't a forgettable vehicle boss. It's a proper on-foot brawl. And once the van explodes, Grandpa Gordon shows up for a surprise scrap. Go on, Gramps. I love how he comes out of darkness. You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it.
Molded by... Who put that there?
Then you smack his false teeth out and lock him up. Commissioner Gordon ranks so high up because you finally get to play as the villains on foot. It's great in co-op, and the crane minigame is definitely different for numerous reasons. Dropping Catwoman's kittens onto trucks. Now we're getting into the fan favourite bosses, and next is easily the most iconic boss in Lego Batman the video game because he is the very first boss you ever face, and his face is full of clay. This arena is peak Lego Batman. The blown up bank, the little Ferrari you can drive to flex and mow down the goons, and the perfect use of batsuits for an intro fight. And then there's Clayface himself just casually standing behind the bars after you beat him down. I just love how he's like a confused toddler behind the bars. He just starts dragging safes around and standing and facing the wall. I know you misbehaved, Clayface, it's okay. It's charming, it's got the perfect mix of gameplay variety, and it's got that Lego personality, which is why the first boss still holds up high on the list. And then you dunk him like a good old carnival game. Coming up, we have one super controversial pick that made a ton of you absolutely lose it. Alright, we're down to the top 5, and if you've made it this far, you clearly love Lego games, so smash subscribe and drop a like. If we hit 10,000 likes, I'll rank all of the bosses in Lego Batman 2. Okay, number 5 is where I am about to divide the room. Mr. Freeze! The boss that made half of you rage quit as kids, and the other half still rage quit today. Yeah, it's him. And no, it's not a skill issue. Okay, maybe a little. The Ice Cream Factory is a banging arena. The colours pop, the layout is fun, and his freeze gun is brutal. You're dodging that freeze beam like it's Elden Ring, and Robin's out here crafting an ice cream launcher mid-fight. And here's the crazy part. This is only the second boss in the game. No wonder childhood me thought this game was impossible. But honestly, Lego games should have some difficulty, and this one's refreshing for that. And it should have been a late game boss, and it's one of the most memorable fights in the game. Thanks Batman and Robin, at least something good came out of that movie. And beating him without getting frozen, peak satisfaction. If you've ever done it, comment below. You better not lie. Okay, this is the one I have been teasing. The boss you can literally skip, and only the real ones know how. You start by herding explosive penguins into Penguin's machine, actually aiming and timing their waddles while defending off goons and Catwoman. No other boss in the game has you thinking about angles and timing like this. It's ripped straight from Batman Returns, and the arena nails that vibe. But here's the secret. You can lure Penguin and Catwoman into this toxic waste in the arena, and that will defeat them instantly, skipping the boss. It is so much fun to try and pull off, and even without the skip, it makes use of the Batsuits, blends all the game's mechanics together, and adds a new one, where you have to angle the waddling penguins. Bap, 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 ba-da-ba-dam. A penguin waddled up to a big machine, and he said to the man running the machine, "You got any grapes?" Alright, we have made it into the top 3. Is your favourite boss still in the running, or did I already put it down? If so, let me know who it is, and let's see if this next one could be your number 1. The final boss of Lego Batman 1 for the heroes, Joker and Harley. The setting is absolutely gorgeous, full Lego Bloodborne vibes. You're just missing the over-the-top soundtrack. First, you're solving puzzles to knock Joker and Harley out of these gigantic bells. Why they thought hiding in the bells was a good idea against the world's greatest detective, I'll never know. And after you complete that fun puzzle, the greatest Lego game vehicle ever swoops in, the Goon Helicopter. Seriously, that's its name. And you take it down using literal bubble guns. Batman doesn't kill, but he's fine letting psychotic cops drop bombs on criminals. And the guy flying it has zero emotion. Who hurt this man? My wife left me. I left you because you haven't taken that beanie off in over 20 years. Then finally, it's you versus the Joker. A long, satisfying scrap full of zaps and that maniacal laugh he always does. This boss just has a bit of everything, and I'm not counting the Goon Helicopter separately. It's part of this boss battle. The hero chapters end on a real high. Alright, we are now at the runner-up spot behind the best boss in Lego Batman 1. And yes, up next, it's the D-tier character himself. A dumb little moth, it's Killer Moth. The thing is, this used to be my number 1 pick for the best boss in Lego Batman 1. I'll tell you why it got beaten right after we give this little guy the respect he deserves. Pure comedic genius, that's what this boss battle is. It's one of the few bosses like Man-Bat where you use their weakness against him, and it's so satisfying watching this dumb little moth fly straight into a light bulb to his doom. It feels like I'm getting payback for all the annoying moths that have flown in my room. The puzzles here are top tier, powering up generators working in sync to light them up in co-op. It's challenging and funny without ever being painful. And then when you take him out, Robin casually pulls out Killer Moth repellent. Robin, chill out, mate. Lego Batman is the reason anyone even likes Killer Moth as a character. That shows how fantastic this boss is. But there's one boss that managed to beat it, and you are about to see why. Taking the top spot as the best boss in Lego Batman 1, Riddler and Two-Face. Why this boss battle beat Killer Moth is because it technically starts way earlier than you think, as it kicks off with Two-Face spilling acid inside Gotham Bank. And you'll notice how his health bar stays the same all the way until you fight him inside the vault. That makes this the meatiest boss in Lego Batman the video game, as it kicks off with the acid spilling in Gotham Bank, then you do parkour, robbing vacuum puzzles, even building a boat to chase Two-Face through the bank. You're dodging lasers, and then you battle inside of the vault. And just when you think it's over, Riddler swoops in and revives Two-Face and starts controlling him like a puppet. Normally, long bosses in Lego games feel tedious. Here, it's absolutely awesome. The setting is S tier, it's long and it's varied, and it's everything great about Lego Batman the video game packed into one boss. Now that you've seen all the bosses ranked in Lego Batman, what if I told you there are characters across every Lego game that are super overpowered and you have probably never used them? Click over to this next video where I reveal hidden game-breaking Lego characters you've been sleeping on and how they can make 100% completion way easier. Thanks for watching, guys. Adios!